You surprised my parents in ways I never could, not by pretending to be perfect, but by being real when it mattered most. I watched their doubts slowly soften every time you showed up with honesty instead of excuses and effort instead of promises. You didn't try to impress my parents. You simply respected them, and somehow that meant everything. They expected someone temporary, but you walked in like permanence, calm, steady, and unafraid of responsibility. You surprised my parents by loving me in ways they feared no one ever would. I saw pride replace worry in their eyes the moment they realized you weren't here to play with my heart. You didn't raise your voice, yet you earned their respect louder than anyone before you. My parents were ready to protect me from you until they realized you were already protecting me yourself. You surprised them not with gifts or charm, but with consistency, something they value more than words. They expected rebellion, but found reassurance standing quietly beside me. You didn't just date me, you understood the family that shaped me. My parents noticed how you listen before you speak and how you act before you promise. You surprised them by choosing patience over ego and humility over control. They saw how safe I became around you, and that answered questions I never could. You walked into my life and somehow made my parents believe in love again. They were waiting for red flags, but all they found was effort, respect, and care. You surprised my parents by loving me gently, not loudly. I think they realized you weren't trying to replace them. You were trying to honor them. You didn't challenge their values. You reflected them in your own way. My parents saw the way you look at me when you think no one's watching, and they understood. You surprised them by staying calm when things were uncomfortable instead of running away. They noticed how you treat me during silence, not just during smiles. You didn't demand trust. You earned it slowly, the way my parents respect most. My parents expected drama, but you brought peace. You surprised them by taking responsibility for your mistakes without excuses. They saw maturity in you long before they admitted it out loud. You didn't try to win their approval, you won their confidence. My parents realized you weren't just loving me for now, but choosing me for later. You surprised them by being steady when emotions got messy. They noticed how you include me in decisions, not control them. You didn't just talk about the future, you prepared for it. My parents were watching closely, and you passed tests you didn't even know existed. You surprised them by respecting boundaries instead of crossing them. They saw how you protect my peace, not just your pride. You didn't make big claims, you made quiet commitments. My parents realized you weren't here to impress the world, just to build something real. You surprised them by being accountable even when no one forced you to be. They saw strength in your calm, not your dominance. You didn't rush love, you nurtured it. My parents noticed how you stand beside me, not in front of me. You surprised them by being emotionally present, not emotionally loud. They saw how you respect my voice, even when you disagree. You didn't come with perfection, you came with intention. My parents realized you were someone they wouldn't have to worry about when they're not around. You surprised them by choosing understanding over arguments. They saw how you handle pressure, and that changed everything. You didn't treat love like a game, and my parents recognized that immediately. You surprised them by making me stronger, not smaller. They noticed how you speak about me when I'm not there. You didn't ask for trust. You proved you deserved it. My parents saw that you value growth, not just comfort. You surprised them by being consistent, even when things got hard. They realized you weren't here to fix me, but to grow with me. You didn't bring chaos into my life. You brought clarity. My parents saw how safe my heart became around you. You surprised them by being emotionally mature in a world that avoids accountability. They noticed how you respect my past without judging it. You didn't promise forever, you acted like it. My parents realized you weren't a phase, you were a foundation. You surprised my parents not by who you said you were, but by who you proved yourself to be every single day.